Yo,
So, all right, so what are we doing today?
is that how you start a podcast? All right, so.
All right, so.
Yo.
That's how I start mine.
Okay.
All right, we start ours together.
Yeah. Yo.
Yo.
We'll do the face swap.
Yeah.
So, here we are.
It's another special, another Dan Rowe and Guests special.
Guess who's here?
Oh, who is it?
David.
It's David.
It's David.
He's back again.
Oh,
How am I ever going to have another guest on?
No.
Yeah, no, we will. One day.
We got a big one today.
We got a big one. So we're finally rounding off the relationship series.
Mm-hmm.
We split it up into 3 parts.
Yeah.
Part 1, 2, 3. Obviously, that's how it's going to work.
Yeah.
Part 1 was called pre-relationship.
Uh-huh.
Part 2, what was that called? In a relationship. And part 3 is going to be called post-relationship,
AKA the breakup.
Not necessarily the breakup.
It is the breakup.
The breakup
and the breakup and the aftermath of how you.
So the relationship is over. The stuff that happens then.
Yes. Are we going to talk about the breakup, or are we going to just go, you've been broken up with, or the breakup's happened?
Oh, this is it. It could go on for hours.
This is what I mean. Yeah. Do we just?
I don't know.
Because we could talk about how. Maybe we should just do it.
Stuff that happens at post breakup.
Yeah, you are broken up with. Here's some opinions and thoughts and some anecdotes of what we think.
Talking about breakups, there's only 2 things that can happen, right?
You've
broken up with them, or they've broken up with you.
Yeah.
What else can happen?
You break up with each other.
You break up with each other.
Mutual breakup.
Mutual breakup. So he's right.
Yo,
we can talk a little spit about that if you want.
Yeah, I think we should.
Go on.
Oh, cheers.
Start off.
You want me to, so what?
Yeah.
What about mutual breakups or the entire breakups? What do you mean?
We'll just start something and I'll chip in.
Okay. Breakups, right?
Drink your water.
Yeah, drink your water. Breakups. Most of you have probably had a breakup, whether you've been broken up with, you've broken up with someone, or a mutual ending. Everyone knows who has been broken up with or breaking up with someone. It's very difficult.
It can be. Sometimes.
It normally is very difficult. People will tell you it's not, but it depends what you're coming out of. Like, if you're coming out of a shit relationship, then you're chuffed. If you're coming out of a great relationship, you are not chuffed.
This is what I was going to say, because it can be liberating to get out of a bad relationship. So I think you can have a breakup and feel liberated, or you can have a breakup and think,
I think the long term thing is, when you break up, it's liberating no matter what. Even if it was a good relationship, you will find a point where it becomes liberating. You go, well, that's happened. I'm out here now, on my own. Or maybe you found someone else. It will always be liberating down the line. Unless you're a poopy pants and you go,
I don't know. It should be. It should be.
That's what I'm saying.
I guess
it should be.
There could be a situation where you absolutely fucked up on the best relationship of your life. And
if you fuck it.
If you're never ever going to get another person like that, that's like the best you could ever get.
You should never believe that, because that is not possible. You can never believe that the girl you're with right now is the best after you break up. Right? You can't break up and be like, oh, it's the best one. Because what would you do then? You just accept that you're never going to have a better girlfriend in your life.
That's what they could be thinking.
No, that's silly. Don't think like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's silly. Don't think like that if you think like that.
Facts.
Yes. That's silly.
It's just hit me the magnitude of this episode.
This episode's going to be massive. That's what I'm saying.
It's going to be fucking big.
So me and Dan have very different, not different views.
No, we're just in different situations.
Yeah, we're in different situations. We both went for a breakup a little while ago now. Right?
Yeah, like last year.
Yeah, last year.
No, well, mine was the year before.
Yeah, mine was last year, early last year. Well, as of the date, it's the 21st of January. So as of last year, beginning of end of last year. Beginning of last year is what I'm trying to say.
Beginning of the end of the last year. What the fuck is I talking about?
I went for a breakup. Dan went for a breakup.
Probably like mid
2022.
The latter mid of 22.
Yeah. So it's not fresh. It's not fresh.
That's not fresh.
No, it's not fresh. So, but it's still a heavy topic. It's a heavy topic.
Kind of.
It's just a heavy topic in general, mate.
Yeah, breakups are heavy. It's a hard one to navigate, I think.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't really even talk about breakups. So you break up with someone, right? Yeah. That's for reasons that you don't think the relationship is working, or you don't want to be in a relationship with that other person.
Yes.
Right? So the breakup for you then should be okay. unless it was a hard thing for you to do.
Yeah.
But you believe for whatever reason that you don't want to be in that relationship. So it's like you believe you've done the right thing. So
Yes.
it shouldn't be too bad.
Yes.
Right?
I'd like to add, anytime you break up with a partner who, that there will be some say you've broken up a couple of weeks go past, there might be a point where you're thinking, what have I done? You know,
what have I
done? And
Optimus Prime. Look at that.
yeah,
Search on
what
YouTube
have I, Optimus Prime.
after you finish this.
Yes.
Or make a note to do it.
He's diverting. I'm going to lose my point if he keeps talking. I've already lost my point. It's gone.
What have I done?
I've lost my point.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. What was I saying?
There might be a point where you think, what have I done?
Yes. And what you need to do is remember that the relationship was not always perfect.
This is true.
Yes. So you may think like, I regret breaking up. And then you realise, actually, there was a lot of things wrong with this relationship. And there's a reason why you ended it.
Yeah, I think it's quite easy for your brain to... well, there's two... I've got 2 points now. So
okay.
It's quite easy for your brain to after you've broken up, and your brain goes from all order, like it knows what's going on, to chaos. Like, I do not have a stable relationship now. I've got to navigate a different path in life. So it's easy for your brain to go from order to chaos and then want to default back to comfort, if you know what I mean. So thinking of the prior relationship in a better light than it was, because it wants to put you in the comfort zone again.
Yes.
And then also, it's super easy for the brain to just go back to nostalgia. Like, every time you have a memory, like, the brain will just, I don't know what a word for that is, just use nostalgia. On things. So it's super easy to just forget hard times.
Well, everyone's probably, if you've dated within your hometown or and you've stayed within that hometown after a breakup or city or whatever, there will be areas that you drive past, walk past, and your brain will go bing, and it will bring back that nostalgia feeling. That it will bring back those memories.
Yeah. I mean, well, even if you just revisit a place that you used to go.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you drive past something or you revisit.
Yeah.
Like, if you went down to the beach with your partner, you break up 6 months later, you might go down to the beach and go, I was here with my partner.
It could be fucking anything.
It could be anything. No,
that's the thing. It could be like like you only eat this certain fucking chocolate bar with this partner, and then you don't have one for years, and then suddenly like someone gets you this chocolate bar from a vending machine. You're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could be fucking anything. This is just like an example. You know, could be fucking anything.
Yeah.
But definitely places are a big thing.
Yes.
But then so now scoot back to types of breaking up. So then the other type of breakup is the other person's broke up with you.
Okay, this is a big one. You get broken up with. It's easy to be mad and upset, right?
Emotions, not necessarily.
Yes. Yeah. It's easy to but not mad, but annoyed, aggravated, whether it's yourself or your partner, whatever.
I don't know.
But some people do, you know. Some people get broken up with, and they're like, "What?
Yeah, like
I gave you everything." Like, you know, people get upset.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, people get upset.
Yeah,
and
people can get upset.
Yeah, and I think if you're being broken up with, obviously there are many factors of why someone will break up with you. Many that if I listened off to you, we'd be here for an eternity.
Yeah, I was just about to say eternity. Yeah.
Yes. However,
we'd be bones just rattling.
However, I've lost my point again.
Brother.
I know.
What the fuck?
It's because in this podcast I've got so many things rattling through my head. I've got so many ideas that it's just like yes, I found it. So you are emotional, you are angry, you are whatever, your emotions are running high. Obviously I'll go through them, but I think what you need to do is understand that if someone's broken up with you, there is a reason.
Of course.
Yeah, but there's a reason on your side that you have to accept. Like,
well, not necessarily. I don't agree with that necessarily. Because you could give someone everything and then they just want to fuck other people.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean?
This is true.
This is true. You could. It could happen.
This could happen.
You could be the best possible version of yourself. I'm not saying you are, but you could. It is possible for you to be the best possible version of yourself and then just not want that.
Yes.
And there's nothing you could have done, especially because like, if you're being your best, true, authentic self to you, and that's not working for them, then you shouldn't change to not be your authentic self if you're giving the most.
Fact.
And if it just doesn't gel with them,
then
that's not for you.
Yeah, you're not together. Yeah,
you know what I mean? You can be fucking upset about that, but it just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
And then this can generate that anger if you're giving everything to yourself and they just decide like something's dumb, like what, I just want to shag about, mate, or something dumb like that.
Yes,
or
But I still believe, even if your partner wants to shag about, you should look into yourself and see what's wrong.
I do agree.
I sometimes think, and then this might be a very blanket, very controversial statement. This is going to be controversial.
I'm ready. Are they ready?
If you get cheated on, you should evaluate your life and see why you got cheated on. How controversial was that, mate? Now, I'm not saying you blame yourself. Don't blame yourself. But do wonder if there is a reason that your partner... Did you get cheated on because you chose the wrong partner in the beginning?
Agreed on that point.
Yeah. Have you not looked deep in yourself and actually asked yourself what you want in life to the point where you picked the wrong partner and you may have seen the red flags and everything and you've just gone, it's all right.
Yeah, and if this is the case, go back and watch Relationships Series Part 1,
yes.
where we talk in depth
about how to find a partner,
how to find the right partner,
a potential partner,
how to do this introspective work, to know who you are, to know the type of partner you would actually want. Yeah. So watch that. You probably already have. But also, I was just about to say. No, I was just about to say something.
Yes. Yes, go ahead.
On your point, I've always believed that nothing is ever 100% anyone's fault, and I always took the philosophy with any argument or in any relationship or friendship or anything that I've had, that even if I think that it's 100% their fault, they've done something wrong, what did I do that allowed myself to be in a position where that happened?
Exactly.
This is the point. It doesn't necessarily. I've always took that blanketly across everything. I'm not specifically saying cheating, but because I use that view with every situation possible.
Well, the problem is
cheating would come into that. I would think,
the problem
what have I done to contribute to that?
If you don't think like that, you have the victimhood mentality because you will always be saying, "Why me?" and never, "What could I have done?"
That's it. But if you say "Why me?" and you don't evaluate what you've done, how can you set yourself up on the best footing to not have that happen again?
Exactly.
How can you want to grow from any situation? Like obviously, the shit situations give you the growth.
You've been cheated on. Did you miss signs that you might have got cheated on? This is what I'm trying to say. Do you know what I mean?
I don't want to dwell too much on the cheating aspect.
No.
But just general things. But I mean,
this is the controversial part. I chuck in there, and I just say, but this stems back to what I said about you being broken up with. Even if you got cheated on and they broke up with you, ask yourself why. Ask yourself if you could have done something different, and don't just blame your partner and go, "Well, that's that."
Yeah, I mean, I think like if you pick someone who is pretty promiscuous and stuff, like, and brother, what the fuck are you doing? You shouldn't do that. I think if you pick someone that you know is a top shagger, and then you get with them and they shag someone else.
Yes.
I mean, in my head, you just would expect it. Like I wouldn't get in a relationship with a top shagging female because I would not trust them. Because I saw I saw something brilliant the other day. I can't remember who it was. It was a religious dude explaining this.
Yes.
And it was saying like, if me and you get into a relationship and we know from each other's past that the default thing that we enjoy is going around and sleeping about with people, then why should I expect anything different of you because we got in a relationship? If you get into a relationship with someone who's been saving themselves for a committed relationship, and you know the default is not going around shagging, so that's not what their brain is wired for.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
So if you like, for me, this is what I believe. Why would I pick someone who goes about shagging? Because their default thing that they enjoy in their brain is going around shagging.
Yes. I'm going to counter this, but not right now. I'm going to further in the notes. We cross that path anyway. Yeah. So we'll get to that at some point.
Yeah. But again,
I get the logic behind it. But
the cheating thing is like you might have picked the wrong person who has a higher proclivity to cheat on you.
Yeah, be smart about who you get with. Part 1. Watch part 1. It will help.
Yeah.
What's next? What's the
Well, no. We haven't done mutual breakup yet.
No, yeah, but have we rounded off being broken up with?
Yeah.
We haven't. I mean, it sucks. All right, it sucks.
Yeah,
but
it can suck.
It sucks. But
it can be a blessing in disguise. But when you get broken up with, you have to go through the motions more than if you do the breaking up.
Because you are asking yourself why.
Yeah, because if you've done the breaking up, you've already decided in your head it's not for you.
You're emotionally gone.
Yeah. You've already rationalised it and been thinking about it anyway. If someone breaks up with you and it comes out of the blue, then you've got to do the whole processing.
Yes.
And the breakup's already happened. But if you're the one breaking up, then you've done the processing already.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
So you've got to have the emotion of the breakup and the processing and deal with the emotions that come following the breakup. So it's definitely harder to be broken up with than to do the breaking up.
Yeah.
You know, I would say.
If you're broken up with and it's not over cheating or anything like that, you know, it's just a breakup that's maybe you're on different paths or something like that. It's normally a blessing in disguise anyway. Like if you two don't gel well and you both just being together because it's nice and it's easy, it's nice to have someone there. It's a blessing in disguise.
Like, they just want the one there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and that's fine. It happens. Realistically, the thought of finding one girl in high school or secondary school and being with them for the rest of your life and dying with them is amazing, but the failure rate is so high because you don't truly know what you want at that age, and it takes a long time of not dating but being in relationships to understand truly who you are and what you want out of a woman or your partner.
Your partner. Yeah. I don't know if I necessarily agree. I'm not certain. I think a lot of that in our generation is a generational thing because there's a lot more hedonism in our generation. I think like because everything's more accepted and everything's a bit more liberal, and you can just fuck around and find out the quote, you know, that the globalization of everything, the fact that you can see all these on the internet. Like I could pull up my phone, pull up my iPad, and I could see all the different types of things in the world that I could be missing out on. Yeah. If you go back 100 years and you find that high school sweetheart and you fall in love with her, and there's no phones and there's no other people in your area that like you would love like this person, and that you don't know of any of this other liberal stuff that's strange that might like captivate you in some other way, and you're just like, I found this person, I love them, no one else is going to catch my eye because I'm in love, and there's no other like stimulating different ideas in your head, then that easily could have been it wouldn't be so much of a problem as now. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, whereas now there's so many different fucking things going around your head that there's so many different options and there's so many different types of people that you could like, and you could change so much and you can learn so many things and you can see all these different things. And
it's easy to look in hindsight and say like, 100 years ago it was easier for a long-term relationship to last, like your high school sweetheart and everything. But we are unfortunately 100 years later, where where it's far different. Like beauty's really, everywhere, and you know, social media, dating.
Not necessarily. It doesn't necessarily have to be that you can view like beautiful people, but like that you can view different characteristics or like, I don't know.
Yeah, beauty comes under that. Like if I said sexy, different, but beauty is the whole thing. I see beauty as the soul. So like you can see beauty everywhere now because you can go anywhere really. Like traveling's easy, social media is easy. You can just meet so many people in such a quick time now that you know it's easy to think there's something better out there because of how many different things there are, like different options you're given now. Yeah. I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah,
I am agreeing.
I want to say it's not exclusively looks. Like you can see on the internet. Like I follow some people on Instagram that are like top class wives, you know, just like people that talk about their husband and how happy they are in love and stuff like that. And you could follow people like that are just like really just like beautiful soul people that are just like, you know what I'm saying? And like, say you're in a relationship with someone who's not like, say if I was married and this wife of mine, theoretical wife of mine, just doesn't really rate me, just pretty much like ignores me all the time and like just isn't stimulated by me, and then you see someone on Instagram and they're like just bubbly, just really talking about how much they love their husband and everything, like, fuck no, you know what I mean? Yeah. Obviously in that situation you should break up anyway, probably.
Yes, maybe. Exactly. Yeah.
But you could have someone like they're just having a bad month or whatever, and then you're seeing all these really over the top like people, and like, they could just be like on a bit of a flat one or something.
But this is the problem with social media because it displays the perfect bits.
It displays everything. This is the
no, because think about it. Like if you go on Instagram and you see some wife or some husband bigging up their partner, that's like
You're not seeing the behind the scenes.
exactly.
That's
like 2% of the relationship. Mate. It's like 0.1%. Like if they've been together 20 years and they post one post saying they love each other, the 20 years behind the scene is very different.
Well, that's the rational side, but the point I'm making is that that kind of stuff is available for you to see to sway your mind.
Yes,
on
rather than seeing some other stuff that you could see on social media and stuff. I know what you mean.
Yeah, because my point was that like it doesn't necessarily have to be different types of beauty.
Yeah,
that it can be different types of like personality or something. That
that's what I was saying a second. Beauty isn't. I'm not saying, I'm not using the word beauty as like looks. I'm using it as like soulful. So other beauty is in like
but it could,
everything together.
It could, bro, be the complete opposite. It could be you're with a partner and they just like have no sexual interest in you at all, and you have no sex, no attraction to each other, and then all of a sudden like they're not even remotely sexual, and then you go on Instagram and you see some like OnlyFans model talking about how much they suck dick and stuff like this, and you're like, oh, do you know what I mean? It could be well different things.
Yeah. There's levels to it.
We could be like, I don't know, man. I just don't know. There's so many things we talk about.
I think to social media is not good for relationships. Full stop. I think in general, like I can't think of a time where social media would help my relationship. Like you can post your partner and your partner doing things. That's nice. Show the world that you've got a partner. That's great. But if you're both sat there on Instagram, you can share some memes together. There's a few things you can do. You can plan a few things, but you can do all that without social media.
I think generally like this. I'm not saying I want this to happen, but I easily could say like, say if I got into a relationship with someone and it was like the one, and we both were like, look, fuck social media's off now. Like just bun them off. For like in a relationship, there's just no point. Like having I could just completely bun off Facebook completely, but almost I could just delete them all. Yeah. If I could have like Facebook Messenger and literally like WhatsApp, and then all the stuff that I watch on Instagram Shorts or stuff like that, I could just fucking watch it on YouTube, man. Yeah. I could just like, if watching YouTube is different to like going on Instagram.
Well, it's funny.
So I could easily bun off social media completely.
It's funny you say this because my past relationship was that we got together. 4 months later, I deleted Instagram. Didn't have it for 2 years. The only social medias I used were Facebook and YouTube. It was great. Now I recently got Instagram back, and it's nice, but it doesn't add value to my relationship. Like
not to the relationship.
The one that I'm in now, it doesn't add value. It doesn't add value at all. It doesn't. I don't look at it like it adds the tiniest bit when like you can message each other. But you can do that on other platforms. Sharing memes is nice. Like sharing memes. You know, if you've got something that you find funny or you enjoy in common on social media, interest, mutual interest. It's nice to share with each other. But all in all, just go out the house with your partner. Do things together. Just do things with your partner. You know what I mean? You don't need to sit on your phone and go on social media and shit.
And especially like as we're moving into like, we're moving into bigger ages, like serious ages. Like like the need to share things on social media when like we're 25, man. Like being in a serious relationship now is like thinking about living with someone and like do you know what I mean? It's not like we're living in separate places all the time and like one of us has gone off to uni and shit like it's just
it's all past. It's not
happening like that, or like that's not a relationship that I would entertain. If you know what I'm saying. Like if I was going to get into a serious relationship at this age, it'd be like, well, living together is kind of on the cards at some point. It's a serious one. So at that point when you're like living together, like what do you need to fucking send each other memes? Like are you going to wake up and scroll on your phone? I'd rather you fucking talk to me.
Exactly.
Or we'll watch a fucking podcast. Or talk about stuff.
Even if you just watch a movie together and talk about the movie, that's better than you
on your fucking phone.
Than you apart from each other sitting on your phone scrolling memes.
We're divulging a a lot.
We are divulging.
I genuinely think phones and social media and shit is just fucking stupid in relation.
Yes. It has its time and place, but limits. It's like
minimal.
Post each other on social media if you want. If you want to show how cute you guys are together, fine. I do that. I love it. It's great. If you go on adventures together, post about it. Cool. It's memories at the end of the day as well as just posting on social media. But is it a necessity in a relationship? No.
Yeah, but this is the thing as well. I'm thinking like you're posting like. You post fucking pictures on social media for what? For likes, for other people to see you in a relationship. Like, if you take a nice picture together, print it off, fucking stick it on the wall, mate. You know what I mean? If I was in it, Well, I'm not saying I want this kind of thing. Like I could easily be in a relationship and just keep fucking social media, but it's like I also could be in a relationship where we're just like, nah, fuck social media. Let's if we take a nice picture, let's get a canvas done and stick it on the wall. You know.
So I guess the message is, don't rely on social media in your relationship. As in, like,
maybe I don't know what we're even talking about.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? That's what I mean. The message is like, you can have a good relationship with or without social media.
Yeah, and I think the original point was that like stuff like social media can contribute to a breakup.
Yes. If you see things on social media that are conflicted with how your relationship is in that moment, then you could feel opposed to break up with your partner. Yes, even if that means it's just a bad blip and not actually a shit relationship.
This is too far back for me to lean back. It's really long.
That's why I got a couple pillows. I got like 3 pillows. Yeah.
Let's have another pillow. Thank you, mate.
You're welcome.
My lifesaver.
Yes.
Oh, better.
So that was if someone breaks up with you, mate. Now we've got to do
mutual breakup. This is going to be a long one. Look, I know this is going to be a long one.
This is going to be massive.
This is going to be a long one.
Yeah. Breakups. There's a lot going on in a breakup.
Yeah, and
we'll try not to divulge too much, but
nah, fuck it. If we do,
yeah, it's going to fucking happen.
If we do, watch it. Who gives a shit?
This may be a 3-hour episode that we split into fucking hour-long episodes. Who knows, mate?
Yeah, we could just split it down the middle or whatever.
There you go.
We'll see. So,
if it's mutual
breakup. Yeah, you're in the wrong relationship. You both agree.
Yeah,
you could still have like feelings towards it though. Like you could still.
No.
This is like a thing that I've like felt.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, because my last breakup was mutual. Like we both were unhappy in our relationship, and like essentially we were just like mates who just fucking lived together.
Yeah.
But like when we split up, because obviously I have a child like with her, you know, so we had to split up, and then obviously like gone from being a double parent household to being 2 single parent households. And then you've lost the family dynamic. You've lost half the time of your child because now he's because me and his mum share 50-50. So I've lost half the time with Barney, and the family dynamic's gone. And now you don't have like that other parent to like share any experiences with. And then also like I like really liked her family. Like I really got along with her family. So now I'm losing like her side of the family as well, like her side of Barney's family, or like her family. Like now I just never see them. I really got along with them. And like kind of mutual friends that you just won't see, or like if you do see it, it's like it's different now and stuff like that. But I really like loads of our friends and stuff. Like it's obviously different now. Like there's all these things to focus on, like or to think about, say, or to go through the motions of after the breakup. Because even though it was like a mutual breakup, and like we both realized like it probably wasn't the relationship for life. Like,
well, mutual breakups are the hardest of the 3 because.
They can be, but they could. It could just be like you've got no.
You've
got nothing intertwined with each other's lives at all. And you both think, this relationship shit, and you split up, and then it's liberating. It could be that.
It could be that, but as you get older, most of the time a mutual breakup is going to be.
It's not working.
Yeah, it's not working. Yeah. Okay, and I feel like as you try and stay, a lot of it you try and stay friends. That's quite a common one. You break up. Like me and my ex.
It can happen.
It can happen. You break up and you go, but we're trying to stay friends, and it can work, and it can't work.
Yeah, it can happen. I know some people that have done it.
Yeah, it can work. It can work.
Wait, let me try and think of one.
Yeah,
I was saying that, but let me actually think of one.
I haven't actually got any friends who have accomplished a mutual breakup and stayed friends.
And stayed friends for like a long time.
Yeah, just like actually like. I guess friends is how would you define friends? You're not going to be going out and meeting them for coffee and shit like that. But I guess
you could do. Like you could,
yeah.
Like in,
but maybe like mutual respect for each other. Like I can't think of any, mate.
I'm just trying to think of some, man. Surely I can think of one. Surely I can think of one. Come on, Dan. Think of one. I can't think of one. Damn. Our generation, bro.
Yeah. Well,
I can think of a couple from my parents' generation.
Like, yeah. But it makes sense. I think this generation's pinned on like, this generation's doing, but most people just don't settle for what they don't want anymore. Like back in the day, people used to be up. Like people used to hate their situation and go, "Oh, well, it fucking is what it is." Instead, now they're like, "No, fuck this. I want change. Bye." and that's the better way to be.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Yeah, that's the way it is. You know, I think I don't think you should settle for shit. I really don't. I think the people who settle for shit, mate, they're gonna hate their life in 30 years. They're gonna
shit. Like, I don't think you should settle for shit, but there's some times where you have to work through the bad. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I'm not saying fucking quit when it's bad for a minute.
Yeah,
but if you can see a solid plan where your life is better in a different direction, and you feel that the other person is just holding you back, but you've got some ties, and it's like, oh well, fuck that. That's my. I think I've always got that. Fuck that. Like, you could try and make it work, but if you've done the sort of equations and gone, well, is this person going to work long term, 10 years? Can I sustain this fucking shit for 10 years? No. Bye bye. Bye bye.
That's a big thought. Like, do I want this for the rest of my life?
Exactly.
I've been there, bro. Like, do I fucking want this for the rest of my life?
Exactly.
This is shit. Yeah.
And I sometimes think, like, these couples that, like, old generation couples that stayed together for like 40, 50 years or whatever, if they were truthful, would some of them be like, well, you know, we did sort of fall out of love, but it was easier to stay together?
I don't know, because, like, yeah, some of them would. Yeah. But some of them would be like, some of them would be like,
still in love.
Well, still in love, and some of them would be like, well, look, we've been unhappy, but there's been times where we've been unhappy, but we love each other. We know we love each other, so we powered through it, and it's all right. Yeah. You know, love conquers all. So, like, there's so many different.
There's so many variables
because people are so diverse in everything.
This is why you need to know yourself and your partner. Ideally, know your partner.
This is like, for me, I'm like a hopeless romantic. I love the idea of actually just being with someone forever and working through all the bad and just being fucking in love and being a solid unit and just having that person for the rest of my life. I really romanticize that in my head. Like, I'm a hopeless romantic like that. But our fucking generation, it doesn't leave me with much hope, because we're degenerate, bro. Like, our generation's degenerate, and I can't see enough goodness in people to give me enough hope for that hopeless romanticism that I have.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like I just don't know how realistic my idea of having a relationship for life is in this day and age. It's just, and that feels shit, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but no one's to say. You know, no one's to say how long you can make your next relationship last. It could be for life. No one's to say.
This is true.
Yes.
It could. I hope so.
Exactly, it could.
You know,
it's
I'm not filled with a lot of, like, hope for it. Do you know what I mean?
But I think it's 50-50. Like, it's 50-50.
Well, either will or won't. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's not. You can look at it. You can go into it and go, oh, maybe not. And you can have, like, good moments, bad moments. But at the end of the day, it's 50-50. Like, it could, it might not. You just don't know. You just don't know.
Yeah.
And unless until you go through those motions, you will never know.
This is true.
Yeah. So there's no point saying, oh, I don't know if it's going to happen, because the odds are 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. All I'm saying is I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not filled with a great deal of hope, but I'm not going to not try.
The odds are slightly in his favour. I'd say more in his favour than not in his favour.
Huh?
The odds are in your favour for it to last. That's what I'm saying.
Are they?
Yes, I think so.
Because I'm not going to choose the wrong person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he's watched episode 1.
No, I didn't just watch it. I have watched it.
He partook in it.
Yeah.
He partook.
I've watched it more than once, though. I've watched it back more than once. Obviously, because watched it back like a couple times before posting it originally, and then I watched it back before posting it again. Yeah. And I've probably watched it again since.
He's clued up. He is clued up.
With these podcasts, I've watched them more than anyone else in the world. Because I record them and then I watch them a couple times.
Edit them, watch them.
Yeah. And do the shorts as well.
Yeah,
I watch them fucking loads.
Yeah.
I'm my biggest fan. Fact.
That's all right.
Be your biggest fan.
Fact.
Or if you're not your biggest fan,
the man in the mirror should be.
Yeah, or hopefully a lifelong partner or your children. That would be great.
Yes.
If my son was my biggest fan, even more than myself,
that's a win.
I would be good.
That's a win. Yeah.
Yeah, I would feel happy with that. If he was, it would make me feel good.
Good. we have diverged.
So now we've covered off mutual breakups. I think.
I think so. Look,
Bro,
I'll do a roundup for all of them. Mutual breakups, I personally think they're difficult. Because if you break up mutually, you sort of on a ground that you're like, well, we both did wrong, but oh well, which sucks because you have to do self-reflection and say, what did I do wrong? You have to ask yourself what you did right. Your partner has to do the same, and then you both just leave, and that's it. There's no big blowout. There's no big realizations. It's
well,
just,
it could be a big. Yeah, well, it could be a mutual breakup because of a fucking big argument, bro.
But then it's not mutual. I mean? That's not mutual. That's mutual, but it's triggered by something unmutual. So it's not mutual. Like
it depends. You could both have a big argument about how you're sick of each other's shit, and you've both been treating each other like shit, and you bust up, bro. Bust up.
Yeah, then you go, oh, this isn't working.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be like this isn't working. Like you fucking and big bust up. There might be a big bust up.
Yeah. Okay, so you can have a shit mutual breakup, but if it's a shit mutual breakup, then that's all right. But I'll tell you what, the slow ones hurt the most. Like, if you just sit there and stare in each other's eyes and go, this is not going to work, that is more pain than just being broken up with.
Especially when you're both still in love, but it's the wrong one.
Yes.
Or like wrong time or something. Oh, yes. The pain, mate.
Exactly.
The pain.
And the mutual breakups always come at the hardest times. Like you said, wrong time, wrong
right
place.
Person, wrong time. That sucks, man.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I don't think I've particularly had right person, wrong time, but I can feel what that must feel like.
It hurts me. I've had it.
Yeah.
It fucking hurts.
Yeah.
It is what it is, And you just got to say to yourself that fate is a harsh mistress.
Huh?
Fate is a harsh mistress.
Is that a saying?
No, it is
you
now,
just
though.
Pulled that out of your ass.
Pulled out my ass, mate.
Yeah. Mad. Fate is a harsh mistress.
Yeah.
Bro. Very philosophical.
Yeah. I am, yes.
Crazy.
But, it is what it is. Fate is what it is. You can't change it. Or you can look out for the warning signs, and if you know your partner's going somewhere in a couple of years, then you should probably prepare for that. That's another thing.
Oh, these are pain, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that. Had that.
Yeah.
Moving away soon.
Yes, and then you sort of ignore it and go, and then it comes to crunch time, and you're like, oh, I don't think it's going to work. And they're like, I don't think it's going to work, and you go, oh, shit.
I had the opposite. When I was first with Barney's mum,
yes,
we were together for a bit, and it was like, this is before I went to uni. Yeah, it was like, I'm going away to uni, like, but it was like, at the time like magical, brilliant relationship, and so we were like, and you just we'll try and make it work. So it was such a good relationship, and then it didn't work. The long distance didn't work.
Pain. This is pain.
Yeah, it was pain.
So that's mutual breakups. On that note, that's mutual breakups. We've got the iPad in front of us. I actually just showed Dan how to put the screen on infinitely and make it not lock itself.
Never knew you could do that.
Yeah, he's fucking perplexed. But
I'm like an old man. You can probably tell watching these podcasts. I'm like an old man in a young man's body.
Something like that.
No homo.
Yeah, boys. Come on.
An old man in a young man's body. Well, that's wild.
Well, going off our really energetic, happy note on mutual breakups, we're now going to talk about the sadness phase.
Yeah.
We're now going to talk about swiftly moving into the sadness phase.
Yeah, this is the thing. Well, this is the thing. Like, we're both content with our lives now.
Yes.
We are not feeling great emotion about it now. Like, we're in a phase of our lives. We're good. We are good.
Yeah.
But we are talking about the events in our past which trigger how we felt at the time.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
This is a very reflective.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Podcast that
will
be not tough, but will be challenging to sort of because I suppose in some ways you're putting yourself out there because they know we've been broken up with, and we're about to put ourselves out there about how we feel about certain situations.
Well, yeah.
Like because we have a specific
describe
question.
It in that.
Yeah, we have a specific question on here.
Is there a question? I can't see any question.
But there's points that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, rattle them off. And the thing with me, I try and talk like pretty generically.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Of course,
like about well, it could be this, could be this, could be this. Like,
these are not targeted. They're not targeted.
Yeah, facts. This is just we're talking about the topic. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything pro or con anyone in my life specifically at all. Definitely not. Like I'm going to keep it very unbiased. Like
No biases.
No biases,
Okay.
other than maybe against myself, which I'm allowed to have.
Yes,
'cause it's me.
you can have a bias against yourself.
Do you want to have some water, mate? You haven't sipped any water yet.
Why have I got a? That's a water. I need a piss actually.
Really?
Yeah. Look at this, mate. Look how much water I've drank.
Oh, fair. No, I was just because we've started and you haven't had any water. My mouth gets dry talking.
You've missed it, mate. I've had lots of water.
Really?
Yes.
Have I just been looking out the fucking window?
Yes. Honestly, when you watch this back, I drank this half bottle in the first 10 minutes.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
It's okay.
I guess since I've been looking at you, maybe I'm just thinking in my brain, mate. That's where you think. Unless you start thinking, with your dick.
Your brain,
the thing in your head. Use
idiot.
Idiot. Right.
Sadness phase.
Are you rattling up? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking like, what does it say?
Sadness phase. Just talk about the sadness phase.
Okay. Well, we've got a couple of points. Yeah, we got some subheadings. We got some points to. I mean, I'll open with the subheading, which is thinking about what's been lost.
Yeah. Well, this.
We mentioned that earlier, didn't we? We did touch on it.
Yeah. Well, part of the sadness. So you enter. I don't know what order these come in for you. Like you might not even touch upon them, but a phase you can go in is the sadness phase. You can be sad about a breakup, and one of the things that can generate sadness is the fact that you're thinking about what's been lost. And yeah, to be fair, I did cover it off, like some of the things for me, like not just necessarily like losing the person what was your partner, but like losing family, losing time with your child potentially. Losing mutual friends, stuff like that, or like time with them or stuff like that. Like, yeah, some things can be lost. And as well, like, obviously there will be parts that you miss about being in the relationship or the person as well. Like you could just like miss things like cuddling with someone, having someone to watch the shows that you used to like watching together, or like going for a walk and having a person that you love doing it, or like missing being loved and showing love. Like you can fucking miss that. Yeah.
There is a lot to miss about when you break up with someone.
Yeah.
And it's, it depends. There's a few dependents of like how old you are, how long you've been in a relationship for. When you are sort of age, it tends to get more serious, So there's a lot more on the plate to lose. When you're like 15 and you have a breakup, you're like, you don't even think about it. You don't really think about it. Whereas when you're mid-20s, you start to really think about it, because I guess in the grand scheme of things, you probably went into that relationship thinking there wasn't going to be an end, and you've got to mid-20s, and you're sort of like, I'm getting quite old or getting older, and my relationship's just finished. Why? Do you know what I mean? It's a big thing to think like, okay, well, in a couple of years I'm 30.
Yeah.
I guess it's against about the social norms of like, by this age you should have this and this and this.
Yeah, but
if you're 25 and you break up from a serious relationship, you're sort of like, well, oh shit.
Well, to be fair, look, fuck the social norms, right?
Yeah. I'm not.
But this is because we like what kind of life we want. Like we're speaking from experience. Like if you just like want to have kids when you're like late 30s, or like you want to play the field and then settle down by the time you're like mid 30s and maybe have some kids, like then like this is not really relevant to you. But like for us, we're thinking like 30s, we probably want to have a house and a wife and kids. That's kind of like
or
30s,
lots
like,
of money
and some money and a nice dog,
and a big house, a Beamer. There's a few things.
Yeah, just.
But I mean,
my man, what were we talking about?
I was about to say, back to the point of thinking about what's been lost.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what we're talking
about. Oh, this is a big one as well.
I'm ready.
The future you thought you were going to have with them.
Yes.
What the plans in your head that you've made. If you're in a relationship, you're actually thinking long term.
Yeah, which is a good sign of a relationship. If you're thinking long term, that is a good sign.
You're thinking, right, in a couple of years, this is going to happen, and then probably like what I would like is this to happen, and then and then probably after, like, bro, I honestly was thinking like 50 years ahead in my last relationship. Because obviously, like in my last relationship, like I had a child with someone, so I was committed, Yeah. So in my head, I've pretty much planned out my entire life, like the way that I want to live my life. I've planned it out in my head. So then, like, this is very from experience now. But like when that relationship broke up, it was all these things like in my immediate life as well, but it was also the whole future I had planned for myself, my whole life future is
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, imagine mapping out 50 years and then
Yeah, all my
poof.
life, like
yeah,
literally just
the whole
map out
life,
my
the whole life,
just map out my life.
and then one day,
Mm.
not there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and the thing is, like, even though it was a mutual thing,
Mm.
still that whole image in my head of my future gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like the things that have been lost is not necessarily like actual tangible things in your life now. It could be like just the thoughts that you had about the future as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was only looking a couple of years ahead, but that still fucked with me when it stopped. I just went, oh shit, I've got to completely rethink the whole plan or the plan I had for the next coming however long. Difficult.
Yeah,
difficult.
Well,
But
yeah. When you're like in a long time relationship with someone and you got a kid with them, and like, you know, like we were like thinking about buying a house, and like, you know, so you're thinking, you know, already got kids, probably house on the cards in a few years.
Mhm.
You know, you're looking at probably like another kid, you know, engagement, marriage, all this stuff in the future, and gone, which is fine. I mean, now it's fine.
This is what I was about to touch on.
Now it's fine, but you know, it's things to process it at the time. You know what I'm saying?
This is what I said about how no matter the relationship, eventually it becomes liberating when you get out of it, because it was crippling, but now you're liberated and you're like, well, I've got other goals now.
Bro, I'm cool. I'm chill. Like, I'm enjoying my life. It's good.
So a breakup is always liberating. Like, it doesn't matter. It can take years to become liberating, or it can take days, or it can take however long. But at the end of the day, as long as you don't crumble and become Mr. Poopy Pants, you actually do the work and work on yourself and realize and do all the fucking things you need to do, you will be liberated.
I'll tell you one big one that I just want to touch on while I remember it.
That's okay. Yes.
Like since my last breakup, like I've had a long time on my own since, and I really have like tried to fucking love myself, and like I really have fallen in love with myself, and I actually do love myself and who I am, and like there's things that like I can work on, but I am like at a point where like I love my own company now. I love doing things on my own. Like I can take myself off to the cinema to watch a film I want on my own. I can take myself off for a meal, and like, you know, because last year I was drinking alcohol, so I like took myself off for a meal on my own, had a glass of wine, and fucking read a book. You know, on my own. Like I can just enjoy time on my own. I don't have to be. I don't need someone else in my life to like validate my time or to enjoy my time. I can just sit alone and enjoy it. You know. So like that's one thing that's really benefited me with spending so much time alone, is like actually falling in love with myself and time that I spend on my own. As much as it's lovely when I see you and like we have these like deep connection times, like
I get it, mate.
I can completely sit on my own. I do love myself. Like I love my own time, and like actually falling in love with who I am and knowing more about myself. Like has been brilliant. You know, that I've never had in the past when I've been really wrapped up in relationships or like uni or another relationship or work and stuff. But I've taken more time to do that soul search and that introspective work that I keep talking about, and this has been a brilliant time to do it. This last like year and a half when I've been single and not been focused on partners and stuff. It's been good. You know, I've loved it.
Well, this is the time you should do it when you if you do come out of a long term. Like I said, this is the best time for self-realization and diving deep into who you are, because when you're in a relationship, you always have a mold of yourself. You know, you are this person, and when you break up, you are no longer that person, because a lot of who you were was
intermingled
your relationship. So that shatters. Okay. I have to rebuild. I have to rebuild something. I have to rebuild whether you know, you're almost an entirely new personality in some senses. It's like
some parts of you have to die.
Some parts of you have to die, some parts have to live. It's like when if you move to a new town where you know no one, you know, ultimately you are what you make yourself. There's no perceptions of you. You are who you are, and that's it.
Yeah, but also like when you meet a load of people, new people, you do have to slightly mold yourself around them and their social interactions and their interests and stuff. Do you know what I mean? You do have to become socialized in that new environment as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, off topic, but yes, as in like,
Yeah.
what if you move to another town?
Oh, bro, this is the thing with my brain. I'm so literal that I have to think about all the different examples. I can't just think in like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a like a
I mean,
one way
I
approach. I have to think about all the different things.
I agree and disagree. When I went to uni, I left my small town life and basically became who I thought I wanted to be at the time, which is, I realize I didn't want to be that now. But at
Yeah,
the
but
time,
you're older now, aren't
yeah,
you? Yeah.
at the time, I went there and I went, I'm going to be who I want to be, and that's it. And I didn't really care about the social cues, to be honest. It's just do what I want to do. And did I fuck up? Yes. But I learned, and I think moving away is a great opportunity to just sort of. The thing is, if you be yourself, you attract people who you want to be around because you're yourself. Like,
This is very true.
yeah, people in my life are people I want in my life because I've always been just me. And if I didn't like your conversation, I would. I might, what's the word? I might entertain the conversation for a while, but at the end of the day, I'll just be like, well, it's not for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not seeking it.
Yeah, I'm not seeking it.
You're not going to seek conversation with that person. If
No,
it's not for you.
exactly. So you just go, yeah. Well, I had a conversation with you. I learned something from you. Maybe we had a nice conversation, but I've got good friends who I like to talk to.
Yeah,
and that's because I was honest with them.
Most people bore me to tears. To be honest,
Yes.
like most conversations I have that are surface level are boring.
Very boring,
and I can't stomach them really. I can on low levels, but it's not something I want all the time.
Yeah,
and like obviously it's very different. Like I speak to a lot of people with my work, like clients and stuff, which is completely different because they're like people that like you care about, and then you talk about like stuff to do with work and stuff, So it's like completely different. Like clients don't bore me because I'm interested in their lives and stuff like that. But like
it's when you meet old friends and they come up with the same drab, mate. You know what I mean? You meet an old friend, they're saying the same shit they told you 2 years ago, and you're like, and it's not even.
If it's not stuff to do with your life, like I'm interested in people's lives. So when I see clients and they're telling me about their lives and everything, interesting.
Yeah.
But I don't like having pointless conversations about stuff. It's not even your life.
Yeah.
Boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially because like diverging.
We have diverged. Yes.
Much.
Yes.
Should we kill that?
Yeah, we'll kill it. We'll say your final point and then we'll kill it.
Killed. I forgot it.
He's forgot it. Basically,
we're sitting at like 10 hours, bro, and we've got one down. One down the list.
Yeah, I mean, we could. The next bullet point we can touch on very quickly. If you want to read this one out, mate.
Go on then. Waste of time.
Waste of time.
It's all the time that you dedicated your time to this relationship.
No, I am not on board with this. I think nothing is wasted time. You can consider a few things wasted time, but like if you save for a house and then they take the money, that's a waste of time. However, wasted time doesn't exist in a relationship because if you break up, you learn more things. You learn, and this is what I was saying to you earlier. The more experience you have with relationships, the more you learn about yourself, and the less you're wasting your time. And that you'll eventually get to a point, hopefully, where you're so aware of what you want and what to look out for that hopefully you stop wasting your time or wasting your time.
Even he said it now. Yeah.
Wasting your time in quotation marks, and you don't need to learn any more lessons, and you find a partner that is right for you. You know, wasting time. Wasting time is almost looking at it like what's the analogy I'm looking for? I've lost it, but it was smart. But I've lost it. It's like
doubt.
No, it was smart. It was big. Wasting time is sort of like looking at it and going, well, no, it's gone. I'm not going to try and generate it, mate. But basically, it's not wasting time. It's like something going wrong and not learning a lesson from it. That's what it is. Wasting time. It doesn't exist.
Right. So I agree with you, but I disagree with you as well. I agree with you in the respect that no time is truly wasted time if you learn a lesson. That I agree with. I vehemently agree with that.
Good.
Okay.
Good. He's got a brain.
Yeah, there we go. Obviously, you watch a podcast, you will know I say these things.
Yes.
And I agree. I will obviously agree with that. But there is also the ticking time bomb of
life,
fertility, and life. Like, say this comes back to the relationship thing that we're talking about, like what relationship you want. But like, if you are someone who wants children and you've been in a relationship with someone for 4 or 5 years and it ends up not being the right one, and now you're 25.
That's
And
probably long.
But now you're in a relationship with someone else for 4 or 5 years, and it's not the one, and you haven't had your kids yet, and now you're 30, and then you get into a relationship with someone else, and it's like, wow, the ticking time bomb of fertility is approaching, and I've wasted a few years on someone who's not the right person. In that respect, not in the respect of now I do know. I know more about myself and what I want out of a partner and how to properly behave and how I want them to behave, etc., etc., etc. But with respect to like, there are some things that I would like to get done by this time in my life, or like, obviously that's an ideal, but things like fertility, that's a biological construct. Like you can't change that. Like there is a fixed time when your fertility is down. I think
for males actually it's all right, but females, yes.
Yeah, females. But like if you're in a male female relationship and you're thinking about kids, then that will affect your relationship. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It changes the dynamic of the relationship completely.
Like, but the time will. And obviously, like as a male, you could break up. You're in your 5-year relationship. Just date someone 5 years younger. You could do that.
You could
if you can find that person. But
if you're still sexy and handsome, you can do that.
But obviously it give up on that. Don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. What I was going to say.
I had a point. I've got a big one, mate.
Go.
That's another controversial one. So if you want to finish your point, finish your point. But it's going to be controversial.
I think I gave up on my point because I bored myself with my own.
All right.
I thought I'm not waffling on this imbecilic idea I've had.
Okay. I think you're going to like this one. You're going to have a good objection to this. Right.
Objection?
Objection, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So, are you ready? So here's the voice of reason. I'm always the angel on the shoulder.
No.
You're looking at
the comments will. If you're watching this, please at this whatever this timestamp is,
look at Dan's
give
face.
Your opinion. Yeah, look at Dan's face and go, damn.
Comment your opinion,
use rationale though. Don't use your emotions.
We need to do a warning on the screen. Viewer discretion advised. Not necessarily Dan Rowe Show's opinion.
Yeah,
the opinion of guests is not necessarily the opinion of Dan Rowe Show.
It's not incriminating. No. It's just I'm going to say when you're younger. So I think when you're what's a good age? Let's say you start being sexually active at 17, right? Right. You sound like a disappointed dad.
I'm waiting for this.
Right, let's say
yeah.
Right.
Just 17.
So let's say you have. Here's 2 scenarios. You're 17. You've done 2 long-term relationships.
How long?
Like till 30, right? And let's say.
Oh right. Oh, so you started at 17.
Yeah. Let's say 17. Let's say.
So you've done what?
You've done 1 7-year and 1
6-year.
No, a bit more than that.
7 add 17 is 24. Add 6 is 30.
There you go. All right. So you've done 1 7, 1 6.
Yeah. Talking maths with me.
Yes. Yeah. And then you've got another one who started at 17, but he's dated multiple people for like year stints, 2-year stints, 3-year stints, and he's 30. Who's going to have the better idea of what to come into when they're 30? Relationship-wise. Someone who's had like shortish, like 2 to 3 year relationships with, how many is that?
What are you talking about?
Wait, I'm getting there. Right, so 17 to 30, 12 years, right? First guy.
Should we just call it that?
No.
Someone's had 2 relationships over the fucking 6 years.
This is what I'm about to say. Yeah, so over 12 years, one guy's had 2 relationships.
For the whole span.
Yep. Yeah. And the other guy's had
20.
Not 20, 10. But 10. He's had 10.
Right.
Who is more well equipped into their 30s when they've both been broken up at 30 to go on and find a partner that is better suited to them?
They're both like,
because one person's been with 2 women for 13 years and only knows their traits.
2 partners. It doesn't have to be women.
2 partners,
right?
And only know their traits. Whereas someone who's dated more knows many traits.
No, but like, this is difficult because they're both very experienced in relationships, but for different reasons. So you can't really trade them off because they're not identical. Because someone's experienced long-term relationship and what things have worked long-term and not, and then someone has just like figured out short-term cues of things they don't like, and like has experienced more different types of women. yeah, but not experienced long term to know to not actually know if they're going to reap what they've sown in the long term. Like they're different, because the person who's had the longer term relationships isn't going to know the like many of the subtle nuances of loads of different types of women, but they're going to know more about reaping what they sow, like how things pan out over a longer time frame. But the person who knows more about different types of women and like what one gel with them or not, they don't know the impact of that on the longer term.
Well, I should say it straight. The person with 10 relationships is trying to get a long term.
But they haven't had the experience of long term. That's you're saying who's got the best experience and the best knowledge to move forward, and I'm saying, well, they both have got good experience, but different types. You can't really trade off, like you can't make a trade off that which one's better or not. And I know your point was definitely to be like the person with the most relationships.
Yes.
But like I see the argument for that on some fronts, but not all of them.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
So make your point. I think it's valid.
That's the point. I mean, I think if you're looking for long term, let's say you're trying to pick the right partner, if you've had more partners, you know more of what you like and more of what you don't like. Whereas if you've had two partners over a long period of time, you are aware of the things they do, but you get another partner, there might be something you have no idea you didn't like, no idea you liked. So with experience comes wisdom, and this is obviously a very common saying. And I still believe that in the dating world as well, and relationships and lifelong partners. I think if you do not go out there and experience, you will not find the correct partner quick enough.
Perhaps. Perhaps.
Yeah.
I think it also, like, lots of the big one is like the introspective work. And I think like exposure to certain things, like you're saying, exposure and experience like promotes thoughts in your head to do introspective work about what you like and don't like.
Yeah.
But if you're someone that's capable of actually processing thoughts and have dedicated time to thinking about it, then you can have, it's like if I sit and imagine scenarios like with good processing capabilities of brain, then I can imagine a scenario without having to experience it and imagine how would I feel, what would happen. And I don't necessarily have to experience it. Like I can think right now about a snake bite on the dick without having to experience a snake bite on the dick. And I know what that will feel like. That will feel pain.
But do you know if your mate would suck it or not?
What?
Would your mate suck the venom out? Do you know that?
Would my mate suck the venom out?
Yeah.
This, I hope, gets snipped into a short. Dave.
Yeah.
If I got bit on the dick by a snake, would you suck the venom out?
No.
I'm going to die.
Yeah. No, I'm not sucking it, mate.
It's not the tip. It's
I'm
just
not sucking it, mate.
It's not erect.
No, I'd say, how did you get your cock bit by a snake, mate?
I'm fucking dying, Dave. No. I'm dying, Dave. I can't reach my ribs.
No. Let me die.
That chunks one.
Let me die.
No, I'd say I'm dying, David. I'm dying.
Yeah, I'd say you fucking idiot.
Don't let me die.
Why'd you fuck a snake? Why'd you put it in his mouth?
You fucking bit me. I'm a knob out pissing. I was pissing in the water.
Mate, I was fucking booing, mate. That's natural selection. That's too bad.
It's not natural
That
selection.
is natural selection.
It is, yeah. And that's why you got gorilla dick, mate.
Yeah. Gorilla dick? What?
Yeah. You know, gorillas have got 1-inch penises because of snake bites. Because it's a bigger penis is a bigger target for a snake to bite.
Dan's been looking at gorilla cocks online.
I just know this fact.
How does he know this fact? He's been looking at cocks online.
Fair, we're not even going to entertain that.
He's got nothing to say about that.
Yeah.
No defense. That's
no defense.
Fine.
Dan's been looking at cocks online. I mean, fair. I've watched a few fucking Planet Earth documentaries. There's cocks.
And chickens.
Right, we're moving on, bro.
Yeah, but you fucking asked the question.
Point? We've got 2 points now.
I was making the point that I think
experience.
I think experience is how
you think experience with the most people is the most.
Yeah, but I'm not saying purposely like going out there and breaking up with partners. I'm saying if you're trying to these long terms, but they're not working out, you are going to learn much quicker than someone who has 2 in 10 years. If you have 10 in 10 years, you're going to learn quicker than someone who's been with 2 partners. So please give me your opinions in the comments. We're very split on this.
I don't know. No, we're not
We're not split.
We're not very split because I'm 50-50. I think that they both are valid. You both gain experience, but there's no way of telling because they're not like for like. There's no way of telling. You gain different viewpoints.
Yeah.
You gain different viewpoints from it. You gain more knowledge in different aspects of relationships.
But I am aware that being with 2 partners and being with 10 partners is a different tax on the mind and how you view things in this world. That's the trade-off, you know. I'm not to say your value might go down if you sleep with 10 people; it might go up. Who knows? As in, like how you perceive your value.
Oh, how
you perceive your value in your head. If you have 10 partners, you might think you're the don, and your value is high. If you've had 2 partners, you might think your value is low, and you're going, "Well, why have I only had 2 partners?" Who knows? Who fucking knows?
Yeah. What was I going to say? Yeah, I think something about, now we're talking about this, something about having more partners is, again, like we said earlier about social media, say, is that when you get into a relationship, you might have more things to compare it to that might be a bad thing sometimes.
Yes.
Because you can then cherry pick the best points of more people to compare things to, if you know what I'm saying. Like that, it can work negatively as well.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, I don't think it's not necessarily all good.
No, it's not. It's not all dandy news. No.
And like, you know, obviously I've mentioned this before, and I will mention this many, many times. The more partners you sleep with, the weaker and the exponentially weaker your oxytocin bonding gets. The first person you sleep with is the highest oxytocin bonding you can have with another human being, and the more people you sleep with, the brain's ability to create the chemical for bonding, oxytocin bonding, exponentially decreases. So if your goal is long-term or lifelong partner, and like one of the most bonding things you can possibly do with a partner is to make love with them and, you know, sleep with them, then the likelihood of that being the most loving, connective experience is by having the least amount of sexual partners. So because the oxytocin bonding, you want to be as high as your brain can possibly make it, you know. And now that you've learned that, you need to think about that and think about that trade-off when you think hedonistic sex or loving connective sex when I'm in the relationship. Like it's a trade-off that you have to consciously make.
Yes.
And so that's why I'm more in favor of not dating short-term lots of people and sleeping with them and stuff, because I want my oxytocin bonding to be at maximum when I am in the next relationship. But
I think
this is my very personal.
Yes, yeah.
But based on science.
Yeah, that's the point I was literally about to pick up.
Yeah.
This is very heavily based on science. You know, talking about the oxy connection and everything like that. But that is what. Right, this is going to sound a bit strange, I guess. You've been told this, but you've never experienced this. So, like, you can say that your bond would be weaker the more people you sleep with, but you haven't experienced it to know.
I trust it, though. Yeah,
you trust it, but you haven't experienced it. So it's bias in some senses.
Yeah, it's bias, but I definitely trust it.
He trusts it. That's his opinion. That's his decision.
But what do you feel about it from your experience?
From what it was right. So if you can't tell, we are the points we are making. This is the man who has had a few relationships and long distance, and I've had more partners in a shorter span of time.
And I'm not devaluing.
No. This is not attacking each other.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not devaluing.
This is for educational purposes.
And it's fucking brilliant because we're the opposite spectrum.
Yeah. And we said this when we started recording this. It's like this is going to be a big one because we are opposites in this section.
Not necessarily in mindset, but in experience.
Yes.
Our experience of life has been different.
Yeah. I was, personally, I'd say my experience of it was, it depends where you've got your partners from. Like a few of my partners were, drunk and stuff like that.
What, Poundland or fucking Waitrose?
Asda.
Midground.
I had a brain fart then. It just slipped out my head. Every word I had in my head. I used to drink, and I've had quite a few partners through that. That's fine. some would say that's not fine. That's okay. My opinion on it is,
When you say partners, you're talking sexual partners.
Yeah.
Or are you talking
yeah,
relationships?
Yeah, sexual part. Yeah, not drunk
Okay.
relationships.
Yeah.
I
I was drunk.
I was in
entire 6
alky
months.
relationships.
Yeah.
And you know what? I never thought about Oxy, and I will continue to never take it into consideration with my relationships because it's science based, and I get science based. Like, oh, your brain's going to release this chemical when you have a physical touch with someone. Okay, cool.
But no,
What does that matter?
No, but I just want to know from your experience, because I've not slept with loads of people. Like, obviously a conscious thing as well. So
he had to state that.
Yeah.
He had to chuck that out.
Yeah.
He's not saying he gets no partners. He's not saying that.
Well, I do get no partners at the minute.
It's a choice. That's
because I don't want to.
Exactly. Yes.
Because I don't want to. At the minute, I don't want to.
Okay.
So, it's different when I was like 18. I would have loved to have got as many as possible, at that time, or like 15, whatever age. But I didn't know these things, and I wasn't the same person as I am now.
He was not as handsome either, but that's
facts.
Yeah.
But equally, still, I am who I am with the life I've had, and I haven't had loads of partners.
So what is the question? What's the exact
partly
question?
to do with the fact I've been in 2 long-term relationships in the span of the last 12 years of my life. I've been in 2.
I just guessed the number. It's quite impressive, right? I said 12 years. I was like 12 years.
Yeah. Big.
Yeah.
So what I'm asking you is,
yeah,
do you think that the more sexual partners you've had, it has had an impact on the connection during intercourse? But be like honest. Like, obviously, like, you have a girlfriend now, and I'm not saying like the sex that you have, there's no connection or anything. But do you think that the impact is that it would have been stronger having had less partners? Or do you know what I'm saying?
It could have been stronger. But
it doesn't necessarily have to be like with your current girlfriend, but like, is there any time where you in the past with other people that you think, oh, that was a less stronger connection than a few people I slept with before?
Yeah, well, if I there's no doubt in my mind, if my partner now was my first ever sexual partner, the connection would be very, very, very strong.
Yes.
There's no, you know what I mean? There's no doubt of that. But the way I look at it is, do I let that sway how I feel? No,
but hear my throat make a fucking weird noise. Fuck, some air bubble. Anyway,
man's gasping.
Can't breathe.
He's gasping.
No. I think my point is, are you saying that it's? Let me think.
Yeah. All right. Just say the question, mate.
I'm just trying to how to word it. Do you believe that it's a good thing to do to sleep with loads of people?
Right, I can answer this question. That's an easier question. Do I believe it's a good thing to sleep with loads of people? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I think I do. I do. I don't. I think I don't. Sometimes I think.
Have mercy upon your soul.
I wear the cross, mate. But I just think, like.
Big up the Lord and Saviour. What does he say about that?
He doesn't like it.
He doesn't like it, bro.
But I'm realistic in a sense of, whose life is this? My life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I can. Now, there are rules you should play by.
This is diverted so much.
Yeah. There are rules you should play by.
Carry on.
Yeah. All right, I'll wrap up quick.
No, don't. But I'm just saying we've done none of this.
All right. There's rules that you should play by, but I don't think there's anything wrong with sleeping around. I'm not saying go bananas, but there's nothing wrong with having a few sexual partners. There really isn't. Especially when you're young and more naive to the world. I think, what's the chance you get older and you go, oh, well, okay, I'm in a very serious relationship now. Sometimes I think the people who don't go out and have fun when they're young, when they get older, they're more likely to be like, well, I missed out on all of that. And when their relationship starts crumbling, they look for external fun that they might have missed when they were younger. That's how I sort of look at it. I sort of go, well, let's say, okay, maybe a really specific thing. But let's say you're in your 20s, you're not very good looking. You hook up, you get together with your wife or whatever. You have a long time, but you had no relation. You had no fun growing up. No fun, as in like sexual partners. You had one or two. Then you get to 40, 50, or no, let's say 35, 40. You've had a glow up. You're now a hunk, right? And now you're getting attention from women. You've never had that before. Now you're like, oh shit. And then you start doing all the shit because you never experienced it. Because
brother, you should be faithful to your wife.
Yes, you should be. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. No, you should. No, yes.
You get attention from women.
Fuck off. That's what I'm saying. You should be. You should be faithful to your wife. But
brother, I swear, man. If you get some attention from, you have a bit of a glow up, whatever, and say you're fat fuck and you lose a bit of weight and you start going gym and suddenly your body's good and then you get some attention from your women. On God, bro. Yeah. You should be. It's your wife.
Yes, I know you should be fit. Yes,
you shouldn't be fucking. You shouldn't be fucking around.
Yes, don't be fucking around.
Thinking this stuff.
Well, think in your head, mate. If you're 35 and you fuck around with your wife, you're 35. Do you know what I mean?
You're not thinking like 35, 45, 50. Like, but the point is, like, if you're in a relationship that is good and like you're in a marriage that's good, you.
No, I'm saying that. I'm saying
that. Like, who gives a shit what the previous experience is? Whether you've had one previous partner, none. Like, or 50, or but who gives a shit if you're getting attention, like, and you actually have found the right relationship?
I'm in agreement with you. I mean,
you wouldn't. It wouldn't. The attention wouldn't do shit.
But I'm on your side. But I'm saying I think people are more inclined if you don't experience things early, and then when you later in life when you start experiencing it, it has the power to sway who you are.
I think it can. I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah.
I think it can.
Yeah. And if your relationship's a bit shit, and you're like, oh. My wife is a bit, or my partner's been a bit like, oh, well, they don't really care or whatever. And then you work on yourself. You haven't had much sexual partners, but let's say you had the chance to have sexual partners, and you were like, well, and then later on in life you go, well, I wish I had more sexual partners, and then you do something fucking stupid. I don't think there's anything. There's an argument for sexual partners and not having sexual partners.
I don't know. I just don't know. I think. If you are in a happy marriage, I don't think you could go, I wish I had more sexual partners.
No, you wouldn't.
I just don't think you could.
No, you wouldn't.
So the goal is to get yourself into a happy marriage, not to have as many sexual partners as possible.
No,
For me, and this is very, very personal to me.
Oh, but no,
anyone who just wants to shag about and not have any long-term relationships, like that's grand, lad. Like that's grand. Like you just do that. That's fine.
No, but I'm in agreement because I'm in a relationship now. If I didn't want it, I wouldn't have it.
I'm not talking to you.
Yeah,
I'm talking to other people.
Yeah.
But anyone else, if your goal is pure hedonism in life and you don't want long-term relationships, don't want a wife, like grand. This advice, my viewpoint is not for you because I want a wife. I'm biased in that sense.
Yeah.
I want a long-term relationship forever. I want a wife. I want love for my entire life. But if that's not your goal, then don't take anything what I say. Fuck the oxytocin bonds. Who gives a shit? Just sex.
Yeah.
But if you want that long-term relationship, then I think if you find it and you find the wife and it's amazing, are you really going to think like, I wish I fucked more thotties when I was 18? Like you just won't, because you're in love, bro. Like that's the way I see it. But this is very me now. This is me, my life. I'm thinking what sets me up to have the best chance for actually finding the woman that would be the best thing for me? Is it me shagging about? Is it me, putting myself out to loads of people, get into loads of short-term relationships, just hedonistic? Is it hedonistic shit like shagging around, or is it the soul searching, self-improvement, become the man that the type of woman I want would want me, and save that essence, that sexual essence, that love-making experience for the right person, so it's more special for the right person, so that it means more to me. So I'm not going to look for other things because I'm not thinking like, oh well, I've shagged 3 people this week that have been better in bed, and I'm thinking no, I've had the bond is better because I've waited so long for it, and it's not going to what am I saying? I'm not going to compare it to all these other experiences that I've had recently. For me, I think I'm doing the thing that's setting myself up to find the wife that I want, if you know what I'm saying. Or I'm not going to find a wife, but find a woman that could become the wife.
A better chance of finding what you want.
A better chance of finding what, and I think I'm doing that in the way that actually will generate the result I want. And I think when I have found that person, and when there's a ring on that finger, and when I'm there, I'm not going to think, oh, I wish I shagged more baddies. I'm going to think I'm in love. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to me, in my heart, in my soul, and in my mind, it's the triple union.
Yeah.
We all agree that I would rather have the feeling of being absolutely in love with a wife in the future than sexy cum. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I know, yeah,
brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think, to wrap up the divergence, I'd say, like, I guess the conclusion is, do what you know what I mean? Like,
the conclusion is,
just be who the fuck you want. Just do what you want. Within limits.
Yeah,
there are limits.
Again,
there are limits.
Again, our original fucking point in the whole relationship series is it is to. Are you ready for this? Figure out who you are, what you want, and then act in your life in the way that will generate what you want.
Yeah.
So if what you want out of life is many sexual experiences and not a long-term partner, do those things.
Yeah.
If what you want in life is the relationship of your dreams and love and wife, then do the things that will generate that, because you need to figure out what you want in life and generate those results.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And so this is, like, for me personally, I can speak about what I want, but I can understand in my head, like obviously I know that I enjoy the feeling of sex. And if I didn't want that wife, or if I didn't really care about it, I understand that, like, hedonistic things, like shagging around loads of people, trying out loads of different sexual things, trying out multiple partners at once, trying out all these things, like, I understand how that could be captivating and enticing, and how you might want to experience that, because, like, I'm not a saint, white of white, purest of pure. Like, I know that side of me is in there, but I know what I want out of life, and I'm happy to forego the hedonism for the result that I want, you know. But that's my personal life. And so anyone who, and I understand my point. I understand these people who just want to do that shit, because, like, I'm a human being as well.
Yeah.
I understand temptations of the flesh. You know. You know.
Yes, I'm going to stop him there, because he is rambling. He's saying the same point over and over again.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting big. I tell you why. Shall I tell you why?
No, because he's going to ramble. He's going to ramble again.
No, I'm not.
Right.
This is a short one.
All right.
Because I need a piss so bad.
I need a piss as well. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I've got a proposition to you.
Yes.
I'm thinking this has been a reasonably long one.
Yes.
Already.
Okay.
I'm thinking we finish the sadness phase, which has taken us like over an hour.
Yeah, and then start the new one.
Yeah, no, and then we stop the video, go for a piss, and do part 2, because otherwise it's going to be 3-4 hours.
Yes. Okay, we're going to do that. I want to chuck back out there that I didn't. Right. It's not anything you said. I'm going to cover my back, because what I said sounded a bit fucking stupid, and I've realised.
Go.
I did not have partners, or more than one partner, to cover myself in the future in case I go, oh. Do you know what I mean? Like I was saying earlier about how.
I didn't think that come across in what you said.
But I feel like I feel like it's sort of come off that way. And no, that's not what I'm saying. It's not. I didn't have fun when I was young because I wanted to ensure I was loyal in the future. That is not what I was saying. That was just an example. I just wanted to cover.
Yeah, I mean, I got that from what you said, that you didn't mean that.
Yeah.
In my head, anyone watching, if you got that impression, like, fair.
Yeah.
But I didn't get that impression. I guess because I know you really personally, though.
Yes.
So I know that you're not like that. But
and that's why I was covering the back.
Yeah, that I didn't get that impression, but you're right to cover it off, because sometimes I watch a podcast back and I fucking wish I covered it.
I wish I put a little disclaimer there saying, this is not my opinions and this is not me.
Yeah, and obviously, like, we don't disagree. Like, we both understand each other's point of view, and we're both living the lives that are best for ourselves, and we both care about each other. You know, love each other, want each other to do the best, and that's why it's so interesting, because the past experience that we've had to, like, just learn from each other's and, like, understand the different point of view, like the different experience, like getting ahead. You can, like, bounce the ideas around. It's good. It's really good.
Yeah. What's iron sharpens iron,
brother. Man sharpens man.
Yeah.
Just as iron sharpens iron.
Monkey sharpens
man
monkey.
Sharpens man.
Yes.
Monkey sharpens. Yeah. So look, right. So
need a pee. So
look, the last point of the sadness phase is remembering memories.
We've gone over that.
We have
gone over that.
All right. So I've already made this proposition. I think we should cut it there. We don't want to bore the audience, and we'll have relationship series part 3,
part 1, part 2,
relationship series part 3. Post-relationship, part 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
split it up. It's like
Yeah.
we're concluding a fucking.
We're
movie
milking it
franchise.
for all that ad money. That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what we're milking it for all the ad
You
money.
know, like a movie franchise like Hunger Games, and then the last book gets split into fucking 2 films.
Yeah, what's that?
And
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter last book gets split into
What's
2
it?
films.
Goblet of Fire 1 and
Yeah.
2 or something.
Yeah. Twilight, the last book gets split into 2 films. So we've roped you in.
Yeah, we're also gonna say like, oh, we're saving the sauciest bit for the last.
Well, let's
part.
have a look.
Oh yeah, so you know what's coming up.
Bro, I tell you, we've done a lot of this next bit already. We'll recover it off like that phase. We'll cover that off, and then these bits we'll cover. So there is quite a lot to go through. We're gonna not ramble so much in the second one and get content done. But part of me speaking so much and so fast is because I'm bursting for a piss.
I need a piss right now. So we're gonna end this right now because I need a wee.
I need a wee. Put it on my wee. So. Yes, I hope you enjoyed part 1. We did intend to do this all in one go, but we need a week and we've waffled for fucking yonks. I hope you have actually enjoyed it because I found this really insightful.
This was good, yes,
and I think it's good to get both sides.
It's going to get better as well. I think.
Yeah,
it's going to get better.
So what do you think? I'm just aware that I've spoke so much in the last few
Man
minutes.
is aware. I haven't got anything to say. I need a piss. I guess
I need a piss. Right.
I'm glad you listened. And I guess watch it, see how you feel, see what resonates with you, and then try that in life. If it doesn't work, try the other one. If that doesn't work, try something else. Never give up.
No, this is fact. Never give up.
No.
Always try and never give up.
Who's gonna carry the logs?
No,
Come on, guys.
What was it we seen in the reception area of this thing? Proceed is always the answer.
Yes.
Fact.
Yes.
Keep grinding, baby.
we need one more for good luck. Never say never.
Never
say never. We're gonna get a copyright strike.
No, because it's us singing.
Yeah.
The Dan Rowe Show official audio.
Never say never.
I'm drinking water. My bladder's about to explode.
Yeah. Right. So, quick face and bye.
See you in part 2. 3 to 1.
You said 3 to 1 on the.